Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Prescott now after the fumble recovery. Got his tight end. That's complete. That's Schultz. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and it'll be 2nd and a couple.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. And that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott.
His 11th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Partner, they had a good lead as they went in at the half, and they came out here in the second half and found a way to extend it. I love their consistency. Don't worry about what they said at halftime. This seemed like a team that was ready to play 60 minutes, and while this game is far from over, I love their approach.
Oh, how about this? No good. Just his 2nd miss of the year, and our score will stay right where it is. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off.
Now this, a very short kick.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it out past the 30. Now Indianapolis set to take the field.
This offense hoping to do better than last drive. Remember, they had the fumble that set up the short field, and then they gave up the touchdown CD.
And so many people talk about how you have to have a short memory after you make a mistake in the NFL. I don't totally subscribe to that, partner. I think that you have to remember what you did and figure out how to not do it again. Get out there and execute the next time out. Avoid those errors and get some momentum built back up for your offense.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Ryan. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. Oh, what a juke into space. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Cowboy defense has a touchdown.
And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. As confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for 2. They'll let Elliott try and run it in. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. And there's a quick momentum swing. INT return for a pick 6, and then the 2-point conversion good.
And even if you're keeping your wits about you, you're thinking to yourself, okay, extra point block team going into the game now. All of a sudden you're hearing defense. Everyone's scrambling for their helmets and throwing down their cups of water. That's a great position for them to be in, trying to score against that team. A little bit disjointed.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
A fairly short kick from the 14. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
A
loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Ryan. That is caught. Michael Pittman with it. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down. Running straight ahead, Taylor. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Dallas, Texas is the spot. 3rd quarter inside AT&T Stadium. Glad you're with us. 2nd and 10. Now it's Ryan. He'll drop this down to Taylor. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it's 3rd and 4 now. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys, and they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. Let's see now, Charles. That's 7 turnovers between last week and this week. 3 here in this game, 4 in last week's game.
You know I do my research, right? And I go all the way back to the best coaches that have ever been in this game, and all of them started with ball security in some form or another, understanding that taking care of the ball was the key to winning games. They can't believe what they're seeing right now because they spend all this time on it with the fundamentals, taking care of it, tucking it away, and they're not doing it.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Inside give to Elliott as he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
That was a really nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on first down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. That one goes for 8 yards.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging into our second half blowout material. Meanwhile, Dak's throw complete into the hands of Schultz here. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Up the middle, here's Elliott. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. The end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
On 4th down, Prescott goes off, and on comes the Cowboy kicker, Brett Maher, for the field goal try. The kick by Maher is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
After that last sequence, they're sitting pretty comfortably. They force the fumble, get the field goal, and expand on that lead here in the second half.
And don't expect them to rest on their laurels after that kick either. They'll keep their effort up until the final whistle. They don't consider any lead safe.
After the made field goal, Maher back out there to kick it away.
Rodgers going to return it from his end zone. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially.
Ryan hit, and he lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't he?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
Now Elliott. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
They'll try again with Elliott, and he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Ezekiel Elliott with his 13th touchdown of the year and second of the game. And the Cowboys get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. A familiar refrain, a turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this third quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one.
Extra point by Moore, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away.
On the return from his end zone, Rodgers. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Back now in Arlington. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Now Ryan on first down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Cowboys. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. it simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line.
42 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a third time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
Second down and goal. Prescott. And his ball is caught by Lamb. Touchdown, Dallas. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott.
And the Cowboys add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. That's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
Extra point by Moore, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away.
From the 6. And he returns this to the 22. Indianapolis offense ready to go again. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. Ryan and the Colts getting set here, 1st and 10.
At their own 22. Here's Ryan to throw. And his throw here's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs.
And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown.
Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
Marr now to add the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away.
From the 6. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field.
But just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one. They'll probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish. Ryan and the Colts getting set here, 1st and 10.
At their own 21. Back to the air. Ryan after the pick six. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Here's Ryan. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
This has obviously been a bad loss, but one of the few things they can still do is try and throw the ball all the way to the end zone and get some points on the board so they're not shut out over the final 2 quarters of this game.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. To throw is Ryan. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And a 1st and goal coming up here inside the 10-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble's going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them improve.
The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. The give is to Elliott. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams would throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
Quick throw knocked away and incomplete. But their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit.
And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line.
And now a stoppage. It looks like we have a Colt who was shaken up on that last play. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
Fourth down, Prescott. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Dalton Schultz, his 3rd touchdown now on the year.
And the Cowboys are closing in on win number 10 as they extend this 4th quarter lead. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. And certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ballgame.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up the secondary. A clinic on how to attack the defense and take them out of the game.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away.
And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25.
And the Colts coming out now.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this?
Ryan hit, and he lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Marr on for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
The Colts getting another possession here on offense.
And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. Sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
Micah Parsons
in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
Partner, my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front seven today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Ryan, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because when the defense got there, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
So danger averted for the moment, but now here's a 3rd and long.
Here's Ryan.
That one finds Pierce right side.
They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's Matt Hawk now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And taken right at the 35. Oh, good move. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate, but we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield.
They, of course, will decline the penalty and just take the yardage on the completion.
And this defense, they've got to be beyond frustrated at this point because even when they're grabbing and holding out there, they're still completing passes. If you grab someone, they shouldn't be able to catch it.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
On third down, Elliott.
And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. 61 yards rushing there for Zeke, and he's got a first down. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Marr now to add the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays.
And it's finished off by the touchdown from CeeDee Lamb.
Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away.
The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. Indy set to go on offense once more.
They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again. That incompletion brings us one step closer to the end of this one. Maybe mercifully, partner. And let's face it, though, no surprise, they're still flinging it around. They have pride, too.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now it's Ryan. That is knocked away and incomplete, but a penalty flag. In the backfield, this might be a roughing call.
Well, that frustration, Charles, it's been building on the defensive side of the ball, and unfortunately there, it turns into a roughing the passer penalty.
Yeah, and they should be frustrated because he's picked them apart the entire game, but it's got to come out in a different way. You can't hit him illegally. Stop him downfield the way you're supposed to.
And Ryan's throw into the hands of Pittman here. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
One last shot for Ryan. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. One final shot. They'll look to throw.
And he's got Pierce.
And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 22-yard line.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice. Obviously, your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for Dallas, they continue to be one of the best teams around as they move to 10-2. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Houston Texans next week. Meanwhile, for the Colts, the loss is number 8 for them on the year. And they'll get